You want to start it off?
Sure.
I did the last one.
Did you?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mic Time Podcast. I'm Jay.
This is Cody.
You already know the deal. Today's episode is about stop caring about what other people think about you.
Preach.
Preach. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for joining. No, that's it. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You just stop caring. So why are we talking about this topic today? Well, Cody has many friends and acquaintances, and I have many friends and I have many acquaintances and very few friends, but many acquaintances. And there are certain aspects in life where you sit down and something's probably either going to change or you want to change or things are going to happen or something has happened. And you reach out to your friends, your acquaintances, your support group, people outside of that area, people you work with. And you get very mixed signals from everybody, right? Some people might agree with what you do. Some people might disagree with what you're doing. Some people might have done it a different way. Some people may have never done it. So is it relevant? That's what we're going to talk about today, right? Yeah. So Cody, set it off.
So I think along with also, because I want to add into this, where along with, when you're asking for people's opinions that are in your friend group, I think this can touch a lot of people in terms of the people that aren't actually in your friend group, that the outside noise that isn't your inner circle that you really trust and maybe respect their opinions a little bit more. That outside noise, especially if you're, say, on social media, because social media is a very dark place at times. There are a lot of people that will throw their opinions at you and be completely negative for no reason just because they are struggling inside. And that is something that you shouldn't allow to affect you, in my opinion, because the amount of negativity that I see online, even if it's in our own comments, which blows my mind because for the most part, we're trying to spread positivity, Oh,
those comments.
And it's those comments that you can't let affect you, because the opinions of them, that they don't know who you are, And so for them to say something negative or anything in sort of a derogatory way or anything, you can't let that affect you because that needs to be something that just slides over your head and you keep going,
Let me take this sticker off. I'm sure you guys probably see that. I saw it before and I was like, wait a minute, do I still have the sticker on my head? Yeah. There we go. We got it off. I'm sure the microphones picked that up.
It's all right, ASMR.
So right. Somebody's gonna get off on that. So let's touch base on the social media aspect of things a little bit more. There was an episode that we did about guns and stuff, right? And people were cutting into my ass on something that I had said, because they took it out of context, like what I had said versus what I actually corrected myself as. They were talking about more of what needed to be corrected than what was actually said to correct it.
Along the lines also, it was a clip. They're not seeing the whole story. So they're seeing a small section of a conversation that we had, and they're then assuming the whole situation.
Right.
Along with they're assuming that your location is the same as their state. In that scenario, that scenario in the law is very state to state as to what that outcome could be.
Right. So in the state of New Jersey, we're able to conceal carry if you apply for it. But if you're in the state of Pennsylvania, or should I say Florida, you can conceal carry without applying for it. Every state has different rules. Anyways, not to get too much into that. But he made a perfect point. They saw a reel, which was maybe 15, 20 seconds. Yeah. And from there, they assume the big picture about what I was saying. And it's the same thing when it comes to life. If I'm doing something and I tell you, for instance, Cody knows what's going on, right? So let's just say I'm making a big move somewhere. Oh, I'm working on getting this done and I'm excited for it. And other people are going to say, wow, you know what, go for it. Good for you. Get it done. I'm excited for you. Then you're going to have some people that say, why would you want to do that? Well, I did it before, and trust me, you're going to come back. Yeah. Or you're not going to like it. But you don't even know the reason. You don't know the big picture. Just because I gave you a little bit of information, you're going to judge off that information instead of asking for more info, and
Yeah.
it's still up to me and you to determine whether we want to give you more info or not.
Yeah.
Right, depending on who you are in my life.
Yeah.
And that's why I try not to give two shits about what everyone's going to say. And the other thing is, too, there's something called move in silence.
Yeah. I love
Right.
that.
Moving in silence, I never really did that. I was one to talk to this person and that person and this person and that person. And you kind of start to wonder why things wouldn't go the way you wanted to or planned. And it's because of that negative energy, that envy that somebody was putting upon you.
Yeah.
And even though they try to act like your friends or they try to act like your acquaintance or they try to act like they care, secretively, they really don't want that to happen. And you got to be careful with who you give your information to and who you're willing to speak to about certain things. Because even though some people may truly say, well, I want the best for you, I wish the best for you, sometimes realistically in the back of their mind, they're saying, well, you know what, I hope it doesn't happen. Or maybe they'll regret it. Or does he really think that's going to happen? And then when that happens, you're putting that negative energy out there upon the person that you're talking about. And then when that negative shit happens, I'll give you a perfect example. I went to Florida. My supervisor knew that I was going down to Florida this weekend.
Yeah.
And, or should I say this past Thursday for a job interview. And he had told me, he goes, selfishly, I don't want you to get it. And I went, well, why the fuck would you say that? He goes, like, the friend in me doesn't want you to get it, but you're one of my best employees. So secretly, I don't want you to get it. I'm selfish. I don't want you to get it. So I said, dude, why would you even put that bad juju on me? And then ended up not getting the fucking job, right? So now I'm like, you know what? That pissed me off because I don't give a fuck if I'm your best employee.
Yeah.
Don't wish that evil upon me.
Yeah.
You know, and even though you might be joking around, which you weren't because you said selfishly, I don't want you to go. So you were 100% honest.
Yeah.
So then when I got back to work and he's like, yo, did you get it? I said, no, dick, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And you know what's crazy? That only 3 people knew I was going. And you're one of them.
Yeah.
And the other 2 people wanted me to get it.
Yeah.
So because of that bullshit that you said, that bad juju you put on me, now I didn't get the job. And now, could I really blame you?
No.
Yeah. I couldn't, right?
Yeah.
But it's still that
I
gave me that opportunity to blame you now.
Yeah. I get that.
You know, that energy, you put it out there.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you know, my best friend Manny, he always used to say it all the time, man, just move in silence. Don't tell people anything. And now I've learned to just do what it is I need to do. And then when it actually is finally set in stone, then I'll talk to the people that I need to talk to about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with energy.
No, I get that. And I think there was something that I read where it was pretty much saying that you won't be happy in your life until you learn to stop caring what others think of you. Because you're going to be so constantly thinking about other people's opinions. And this is more, I guess, a superficial level in a sense, where think of a high schooler kid, right? They're going to high school and they're every single day worrying about what they're going to dress, what they're going to look like. Oh, I want to look this, or I want to look this, or I need to have these materialistic things to impress this person because their approval, to seek someone's approval. It's like, well, you shouldn't be worrying about that. You know, you need to stop worrying about what other people's care and what their approvals and all that, you know?
Right.
I think that's a thing that goes throughout life. And now that I'm almost turning 30, I would say that over the years, the fucks that I give for people's opinions have just gone out the window. And man, is it a weight off your chest when you learn to do that, you know? Because you really, like, if anyone could say anything about me, I'd be like, okay. Like, cool. I'm happy that you have that opinion of me, but it doesn't affect me. It truly doesn't, because I'm going to still walk my path with the utmost confidence of my decisions, because I know my values and I believe that I don't have to worry about what other people think.
The amount of fucks that I give.
You know, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know?
There's only a handful of people in my life that I give a fuck about what they think.
Yeah.
You know, and that's for people to be in that group. Will they persuade my decision? No. Will they change my decision or outcome? No.
Yeah.
But will it affect me a little bit if they aren't happy about it or if it bothers them? Yeah, I mean, I care about these people, you know?
There's respect in with everyone's circle and that circle's opinion. Because I think that, you know, it's similar to maybe like a tribe of some sort, you know. But when I think of other people's opinions, it's mainly that outer circle, the outside noise.
Right.
Like the inner circle, I love hearing people's opinions. I want to know what they're thinking because it's like you said, it's not going to affect your actual decision, but you want to also hear what they have to say because that can at least give you some sort of calculation almost in a sense to be like, where are these people thinking? Because I truly respect all my people's opinions in my circle. And I will take into account it, you know, and I'll calculate, oh, like what will that outcome be with what they're saying, you know?
Right.
But I'm still gonna, you know, I'm gonna go down the path. And if it ends up not working out and they're right, it is what it is. I learned from that lesson then. You know, I did my path, I learned, and that was meant to be a stepping stone. Simple as that. But I'm always gonna go down my path, you know.
Yeah,
you can't allow people to veer you in a different direction.
Right, because a lot of people want to come into your life and take the steering wheel. That's one thing that I've learned about it. You know, you get those people where they can ride the passenger seat and you trust them to stay in the passenger seat. And then there are some people that when you're driving, they may tell you, no, turn here. No, turn there. No, why are you going that way? Why don't you go this way?
Yeah.
Or they'll just become overly aggressive and steer the wheel while you're trying to drive. And I don't like people like that in my life anymore. I just don't. Now, the other problem is when it comes to what people think about you or say about you is you just said that example, right? Like you'll take into consideration what your friends are saying or what they're doing and stuff like that. The other problem is that when you're here, like when you're up here with the idea, meaning your spirits are high, you're gung-ho, you're excited about something, you feel confident, you feel good.
Yeah, you're motivated to carry out. You're ready to, you know, do that next challenge and chapter of your life.
Right. And then you speak to someone, you tell someone what you're doing or what you're feeling that's in your circle, and then they hit you with the what ifs. Oh, but what if, but did you take this but what about, you know that this could, and then your fucking motivation starts doing this.
Yeah.
And your worry starts to kind of counterbalance it.
And that's where I would say is it shouldn't do that. That's where it's like you should take in those what ifs, but then calculate it and be like, I still, with my confidence, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It shouldn't deter you from your dream of what you want to do.
I mean, you're gonna do it regardless. Yeah. But now you have worries that you really, you probably knew were realistic.
And going into that situation, most of the time, you've probably already gone over them anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, more than likely you already have.
Usually when, I would like to think most people calculate things, you know, like, hey, I'm going to do this. All right, here are the possibilities of what I want to achieve this. These are possible outcomes. And it's simple as that. But I'm ready to go after what I want.
Right.
You know?
Right. So I heard something today, Cornell University, and I want to say it was Cornell University, if that is even a college, but I know it was something C University.
Okay.
Did research on people who are worrisome about situations changing or something new happening, right? They said that 85% of your worries actually never happen. So you're sitting down and you're worried about, oh, this might happen, or if I do this, this might happen. But more than likely, that's a high percentage that is actually not going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you really think about it, 85% of it doesn't happen. So that only leaves you with what? 15% of it actually happening?
Yeah.
That means if 85% is not happening, that means 85% of it is happening.
Yeah.
Meaning the good is happening.
Yeah. And that's a great percentage.
Right.
That's a great percentage.
you know, this change that is happening in my life, if you would have told me 4 days ago after what I just went through that we spoke about off camera, when something like that happens, it makes you question your career field. It makes you question the life that you chose. It makes you question the decision you're making.
Yeah.
And then this morning, after listening to what Cornell had did with research and realizing, speaking to someone else about it too this morning, you realize that a lot of your worries, you really do have control over, you know? And how does this revolve around what people think about you? Because it's not, you have to stop caring what people think about you, but you have to start caring about how you think about you.
Well, that's one of the biggest things, whether it's in relationships, career, it's, you know, if you want to love someone, you need to love yourself first. In a career, if you don't know that you can do the job, how is someone else going to think that you can do it? Like, if you don't believe in yourself to do the job, how should someone else believe that you can do the job? You know, it's one of those things.
Confidence.
Yeah.
And with this new venture that I'm going down, I was worried. I was scared a little bit a couple of days ago, you know, and the biggest fear was, what if I can't find the job? You know, and a lot of people keep telling me, hey, listen, you can change career fields, you can do something else, but, you know, at my age, do I want to do that?
Yeah.
Right. I spent 20 years in the health industry, in the medical field, doing what I do. Do I want to change my career and settle and do something else? You know, there was something I always wanted to do too, was be a cop. I would love to be a cop. I always wanted to be a police officer. Always did. And I respect Blue very much.
I contemplated the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You know,
I always wanted to do it.
I could still do it.
Yeah, you could still do it. Yeah, 1000%. I always wanted to do it. And is that option out the window right now? No. Because in where I'm going, there's no age limit to do that, which is great. Yeah. But here in New York, you got to be under 35. Yeah. And certain states, you have to be before 37. Yeah. And but other towns, they don't require that, and certain towns don't require college, which is great. Yeah. And you still can be, you know, a police officer. Would I sit down and start telling everybody about that? Well, now you're going to get mixed signals, right? You're going to get people that don't like cops. They're going to give you a bunch of shit. You're going to get those people that have issues with the way that the government is now, and they're going to say, well, you know, what's going to happen when a new president comes in? You know, there was always issues with a new president and all this other stuff. And then, you know, a lot of people don't like cops right now. And what if you get shot? And da-da-da-da-da. And then there are going to be other people that'll be like, yo, go for it, man. That's medical. That's pension. Yeah. That's good for your family. You're going to be able to... So you're always going to get these mixed signals, right? And a lot of people dwell on the negatives more than they dwell on the positive aspect of things.
It's really big that you just mentioned that, because the world, unfortunately, if you really look at it, revolves around negatives. Because if you look in the news, 9 times out of 10, it's a negative story and not a positive story. 9 times out of 10 on social media, it's something negative that's occurring. And it's unfortunate that we don't celebrate positivity or victories in the world, whether that's, you know, some law enforcement saving someone, or just a random civilian doing positivity out there. You know, it's always negativity. And it's really sad to see that in this world, because that then just becomes an imprint on everyone, all the citizens of America, you know, and probably also along with the rest of the world. Right. And we then see all that negativity and we carry that, you know, whereas if when you see a positive thing out in the news or social media, you feel uplifted and you feel, wow, you see a positive act, I'm maybe going to do more a positive act. Right.
And let's talk about the news aspect of things, right? And how it relates to what people think about you. Every person has a different view on the news, right? Whether it be fake news or real news or Democratic news or Republican news or conservative.
This news is only with this party, you know, and the world is separated, you know.
But if you look at things in a different way, so let's say the news would start doing something like this. So today's forecast, it's going to be thunderstorming all day. It's going to be pretty dark outside. Make sure you bring an umbrella. But guess what? Every time that there's a storm, the sun does come back out. And we're super excited for tomorrow because tomorrow is looking at about 80 degrees. So look forward to that. You don't have to bring the umbrella. So just get through today and tomorrow's going to be a better day. Right away, you went from having me, oh, fuck, it's going to, oh, shit, it's going to be nice tomorrow.
Tomorrow it's going to be beautiful out.
Completely changes the whole aspect. You know what? You know, whatever news channel, I'm for hire. Whatever. I'm good. You know what? Let's just start doing news next.
Hey, we could do that.
That's it. Mic time. News with mic time. That would be cool.
Yeah, we have little news segments.
Yeah, little news segments.
Another thing, though, you know, kind of segueing off of that, where if, say, they had actual segments where they simply talked about things of positivity.
They started doing that at the end of it.
Yeah, when everyone's already depressed.
And they give you one good thing.
Yeah,
just one.
After the 5 other bad things.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. But so back to how much time we got?
We got 6 minutes. We're cool.
So back to the not caring what other people think about you. Let's relate that to school.
Okay.
Right? A career field that you might be choosing.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that will be skeptical on depending your field that you're going into. You know, for me, going into a creative field, they're like, oh, you're not going to be able to get any work doing that. You're not going to be able to achieve anything. Like, you're going to be, you know, changing careers so fast because you won't be able to get a job and make any sort of money. Well, you know, I'm not, you know, a millionaire, but I have a full-time job, you know, I have a career in what I do.
Right.
So it's one of those things where, you know, I kind of just said, fuck you guys, watch me.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
Yeah. There, you know what? Not to mention that, just to touch base on that, I was looking at Indeed and LinkedIn and ZipRecruiter, and they're hiring for social media person or social media marketing like crazy. Everybody's hiring for that.
I agree. But at the same time, I've noticed that a lot of companies have postings for a lot of things, but I don't actually see anyone hiring. So I remember at one point I was looking at some job postings. And I was looking to just feel things out and see how the market was, see if I can maybe, you know, get a bump somewhere. Because honestly, in corporate America, for you to actually grow, you need to move companies. Unfortunately, nowadays, it's not where your loyalty over a company, you're going to grow. That whole work for a company for 25 plus years and you're going to be growing. It's not like that anymore. No matter what position or department you're in, at least from my experience and all my colleagues that have been at other companies, you have to move around every 2 to 3 years. And that is how you're going to grow, actually.
That's like car insurance.
Yeah.
You know, you got to change car insurance.
You want to get a better quote? Move in a couple of years. You
Yeah.
know, it's the same thing. You know.
Yeah, you got to change car insurance. But when it comes to your career field, what people are going to feel you should do versus what you feel you want to do. You know, when I started personal training, I went from New York City FDNY. You know, I was an EMT for New York City Fire Department. And then once I left that because of an injury and I became a personal trainer, a lot of people are like, oh, you're just a personal trainer. You know, where you're going to go from there, right? But at a certain point, I think I was actually at 6 figures personal training.
Yeah.
Did it happen right away? No. Did it happen within 2 years of personal training? Yeah. I was managing multiple gyms and getting income from all the trainers.
Yeah.
And my checks were fantastic. You know, after tax in New York City, I was taking home after tax, you know, about $6,000 a month. And it was great. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, why would you do personal training again? Or why would you start your own business, go work for somebody? And a lot of the old timers feel that way too. You know, get a job, get a trade, get a pension, take care of your family, work long hours.
Yeah.
And that's justifiable because that's how they grew up.
Yeah.
But that's not how I want to. And I decided to open my business during COVID. And a lot of people, and even my mom was like, you sure you want to open a business in the middle of COVID?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, it's going to be difficult, but pressure makes diamonds and we'll see. And I lasted 3 years. I made 3 years May 2nd, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got through COVID, right? But now my life is calling in a different place, and I'm super excited. And again, a lot of people are back to, but you were doing so good at your business. Oh, the same people that told me not to open it, and they were like, oh, but you're doing good in your business. Now you're going to shut it down. And then what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Don't worry about what the fuck I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
I always come out on top. Always, always, always. Even when I'm at my lowest, I'm still coming out on top. And that's one thing that I want everybody to understand. And even my own friends that are watching this now, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't give me the negative shit. But I don't want to hear none of that fucking shit. I want to hear you're going to kill it no matter what you do, because you were homeless at one point and you got through that, and it don't get much worse than that.
Yeah.
And I am very excited about where my life is heading. Super excited about it. Do I want it to happen now? Hell fucking yeah, I don't want to wait. I want to just kind of like get this ball rolling.
Yeah.
But I got to start again. There are things still happening outside. Like the big picture is this. Everybody knows the big picture, but they don't know the small things.
There's a lot of moving puzzle pieces.
Or moving chess pieces. Yeah. And I'm moving all of those chess pieces in silence. I'm not telling anyone what I'm doing, but it's happening.
Yeah.
So what I've learned is that everything happens the way it's supposed to, and everything happens for a reason. And it doesn't matter what anyone's going to say and or tell you. Whatever is planned is going to happen. But yes, some people do give you bad juju, and it kind of prolongs where you need to go.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about someone is giving you negative energy. Someone is talking bad about you. Someone is, and you're sitting down and you're like, damn, why? What do you do? Where do you go from there?
Let me just have you add one more. Is this someone that is in my life that I care about, or is this someone that is on the outside that is, just having a conversation with them? And
Let's go both.
Okay.
Let's touch base on the one that you care about first.
Okay. If someone who is in my life that I care about their opinion, and they're telling me sort of a negative outcome of what I told them what I want to do, and they're telling me you shouldn't do that, I'll be like, I really, truly appreciate your opinion. I really, truly appreciate your advice that you're giving me. But this is my life, and I need to go after what I want to do. Simple as that. And if, say, I do end up having an outcome where it isn't fully achieving what I set out to do, then I learned something, though. It's simple as that. Everything in life that we do is a life lesson. No matter what, whether you're winning or losing, you're going to learn more in the losses. You are. But if I want to achieve this, I want to go get this, I'm going to go do that, no matter what anyone says. Now, if it's, I want to do, a couple backflips over the Grand Canyon on a motorbike, I might, if they're like a scientist and they're like, the calculations, I might take that into more consideration.
All right.
But if it's, say it's relationship, and they're like, I don't see them working out, or they just don't seem to fit into your life, I might try to take a step back and look and see what they're saying. But if I don't see it in that moment, I'm going to still carry it out, In my last relationship, all my family and friends, for the most part, they were supportive, but I knew that they weren't on board with it at one point. In my head, I even knew that, and it ended up not working out because we just weren't meant for each other. Simple as that. And I think that was a situation where I could have maybe listened to them and been like, I realized, yeah, you know what, it's not the healthiest. But I went through it and carried out, and I learned, simple as that.
Well, that led you to where you are now.
Exactly. So
Right.
that relationship, even though it ended up not working out, even though it was a negative chapter in my life, I am the person who I am today because of how I went through it. you know, and I became the person I am today now for the person I love, you know. Now, if it's, say, a random person in a barbershop, you know.
Let's not go that route. Let's
Okay.
go the route of it's an employee you work with.
Okay.
How about that?
If
Or
it's
even a friend of a friend, right? But
Yeah.
not. I mean, listen. You can get your hair cut and tell your barber whatever you want, and he might gonna feel some type of way. But usually that conversation ends, and that
Yeah.
thought process ends when your hair's done.
Yeah.
Right.
All right,
But
so-
let's talk about people that you normally see that would give you that advice, even though you don't care too much for them and you only see them at work. Maybe that one.
I would do the same thing. I would say, you know, I appreciate, you know, because I'm always going to accept someone's opinions and allow them to speak their, you know, mind. I'm not going to take that away. We have the amendment to free speech, you know, whether I agree with you or not, that's one thing, but I'll let you speak your piece, but it's not going to do anything to me. I will literally let it fly right over my head. Be like, you know, thank you. I appreciate the conversation, but I'm going to still do me. And it isn't going to affect me in the most, in any way.
Right.
In the least, I mean. It isn't going to affect me in the least.
I got it. I was like, thanks for that correction, Cody.
Yeah, right? I'm saying that it's not going to affect me, but I said in the most.
Yeah, it's not going to affect me in the most.
Yeah. No, but it's one of those things where you have to just respect someone's opinion and whatever they think, but whether you choose whether or not that you let it affect you. You know, and I think that's a huge thing that everyone in this world either learns very early, but honestly, mostly it's a lot of people learn it over by time and age. You know, because I'm myself where I used to care a lot about what other people think. I used to. You know, 4 to 6 years ago, I would not let someone, you know, tell me how to live my life, but I would very much take into consideration their opinions, you know? And now it's more or less like, this is my life. It's no one else's. Like you said, like I'm driving the steering wheel, you know, I'm driving this car, no one else.
Yeah. You're behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I was never like that. I never took people's advice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if it was a positive advice,
Yeah.
yeah. If it was negative, no.
Yeah.
Never did. Never sat down. Again, it was a lot of people hit you with the what ifs. My life has really revolved around a lot of people hitting me with what ifs, you know? And everything from what I did, from being my first job at Best Buy and then moving to where I'm at now, a lot of it was sales, commission based, you know.
Yeah.
So I never really paid too much attention to what other people's opinions were, especially when you're applying for higher positions and people are like, oh, you're never going to get that or you're not going to get that. I would still apply, even if I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Even realistically, if I knew I wasn't going to get it, then I'd still apply for it,
Yeah.
you know?
Why not?
Yeah. Let me get a cough drop, bro.
Got you.
Excuse me, but I'm also getting over something too.
right.
And yeah,
continue.
no, you continue. I try this cough drop here.
So, being that you haven't really felt that, you know, you haven't really listened to the outside noise in your life, is there anything that someone has given you advice on or advised you on something that you wish you had listened to? Whether that was a warning to not do something or something, whether it's career, relationship, is there anything in your past that you wish, oh, maybe I should have taken it more into consideration with something they said, or that I should have maybe gone down a different path?
Long answer short, no.
Okay.
Because that means that I would regret something. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to regret anything. But if I had to think of something that I should have done that maybe somebody had told me I should do, it was go to college. I was very anti-college because I went down more of the professional career of certification, license, right? I never went down that degree field because one, I didn't want to be in a serious amount of debt. And I didn't want to have student loans because college is a business at the end of the day, right? Why do they make you pay for all these remedial courses that you don't or should not have to? Why am I going to take a math class to be a firefighter? Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Because they're a business. They need to make their money, which is bullshit. But now you're making me pay, $347 per credit
Yeah.
just so I could become a firefighter. It's ridiculous. But now as I'm older and I realize applying for all of these jobs that I've been applying for lately and looking, I have 20 years of experience over any kid that's coming out of college right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have helped many people. I have saved many lives. I have trained many different types of people. I have so many different personalities I've come in contact with. And now when I apply for, let's just say, exercise physiologist in a hospital or in some type of clinical setting,
Yeah.
I can't get that job because I don't have a bachelor's in exercise science.
Yeah.
Which to me is complete bullshit because you can have somebody who has a bachelor's in exercise science. You can get an athletic trainer license from a college. You could be a strength and conditioning coach, but have a full-blown conversation with me when it comes to patients.
Yeah.
Not clients, but when it comes to patients.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna stride in a clinical setting better than you will. But now you got a step ahead of me because of a piece of fucking paper.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That gets me upset because I've saved lives. You've never been put in that position.
Yeah.
So there was some time that people had told me, maybe you should go to college out of high school, and it was just not for me. And now being the age that I'm at, I sit down and I say, I probably should have did it.
Yeah. For me, I very much believe that depending on your career is whether or not you should go to college, because I feel like there's a lot of people that do go to college and then end up not even using their degree that they went to for half the time they're not actually going down career paths where their degree that they got.
Because you go to college so young.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like right now, being at my age, if I went to college, I know what I'm going for because I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids, and I'm not trying to discourage you from college because again, doesn't matter what I fucking think, right?
Yeah.
But what I would say to myself at 18 years old,
Yeah.
if you go to college, you're going to change this major and this major and this major and this major. And the reason why, they know that.
Yeah.
They know you're going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
That's why they keep taking money from you.
Yeah.
They know you're going to keep changing career fields. They know you're going to keep going back. And that's why when you hit a certain age like me, I know what I'm going to go for. Oh, but you haven't been in school for a long time.
Yeah.
You need to take all these courses and pay us all of this money per credit.
And there's a guy online. Now I don't agree with all of his beliefs and everything, but he wrote a book called "College is a Scam." His name's Charlie Kirk. Didn't go to college himself, but he is very knowledgeable and has a lot of wisdom from self-taught, reading books and all that. And he talks about how college is a scam, and I agree with that because, to a certain extent, here's why. I think lawyers, doctors, health fields, whatever, engineering degrees, you need a degree to get that. But then there are plenty of other fields that you probably don't need a degree to get a job.
Right.
And the college knows that, say you have a communications degree, right? You're taking probably in the first year a shit ton of classes that has nothing to do with your actual degree that you're just spending and wasting money on. That by the time that you actually start paying it has compounded interest possibly. And I know that there's the no payment, while you're in school, but it can, my girlfriend is in, nursing, her other college from in the beginning, she's trying to get her MP now, but her old college nursing degree or whatever,
Yeah.
that's building interest currently, even though she's not paying for it.
Right. You're still building
You're still
interest on
building
it.
interest. So,
Yeah.
and they know that.
Yeah.
So
It's like your $10,000 loan is now by the time you pay it $20,000.
exactly. So I think that depending on what you're going to college for, and like you said, we're so young when we go into college right out of high school, a lot of people don't know what they want to do. So they're going to change careers. They're going to go to college longer because they're changing majors possibly.
Yep.
And spending more money and going into more debt. And that's where the ROI now in this current day and age is not what it was, 20 to 40 years ago.
Right.
Back then you used to go to college to get a bachelor's degree and you're set. You could live off of one income and all. It's like, now it's like you come out of, even with an engineering degree, you may struggle to find a job.
Right. And to touch base on that, not to get too much into off topic, but if there were courses that you could take, I think they're called fast track or boot camp courses.
In high school?
No, outside.
Oh, okay.
Right. I had seen fast track and boot camp courses that you can take for, let's just say, some degree in computers. Now that you take these fast track and boot camps, there's a big test that you take at the end. You can do these fast track boot camp courses and everything like that. And now let's just say you're a security analyst with that fast track school, but a job wants you to have a bachelor's in it. Now you're like, it's so convenient that all of a sudden all these big major companies want people with college. And now you're making, let's just say, for me, instance, I don't have any debt, right? Any school debt.
Yeah.
My pay rate, let's just say, is $80,000 a year.
Yeah.
But now this kid comes out of school with the degree doing what I do, and his pay rate's $120,000 a year. Okay, so now you make $40,000 a year more than me, and we're pretty much at the same level.
Yeah.
So let's just make that hourly. You're making $50 an hour, I'm making $30 an hour. Why is that? Well, because you went to college. All right, good for you. But you have $60,000 in student loans. Yeah. So your $50 an hour just turned into my $30 an hour.
Because the rest of it's going to the loan.
Because the rest of your hourly rate is going to pay off a loan.
Yeah.
And that's where it's upsetting, because why can't I make that 50 without that paper?
Yeah.
And why are you making 50 with that paper, but you're paying more? It almost balances itself back out. So I tell people, oh, you're making six figures. Fantastic. How much student loans do you owe? Oh, $50,000. Well, now let's say over a 5-year span, you're making 110. Now you're actually taking home $1,000.
Yeah.
But your payments are $500 a month, $600 a month.
Yeah.
That's a car payment.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
100%.
at least. Used to be 2 car payments.
Yeah, it used to be 2 car payments. Now it's not even 1.
Right. So a lot of people they used to tell me to go to college. I didn't listen to them. Do I regret not going to college? Yes and no. No, because I love what I do. I love where I'm at in my career. If I could go to college now, I would.
Yeah.
Because now I know where my life is.
Yeah.
Where I want to be. Could I still go to college? Yes.
Yeah.
But at 36 years old, do I want fucking student loans? Right? Because now I have to go to college full time.
Yeah.
And people are going to sit down and say, but dude, how are you going to go to college full time when you have to pay rent? Because you're not living at home with mommy and daddy.
Yeah. 100%.
How are you going to pay rent? How are you going to go to school 9 to 5?
Yeah.
And that sucks. So that's where you find like an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Right? Or a scholarship where you can do all of that. So, so to answer your question, that was the only thing that I would say that someone told me to do that I didn't get to do.
But the path that you've taken, has led you to where you are, and you're going to be all good.
It's all good in the hood, bro.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about doing Cody's quote to wrap us a little back on track before the last 10 minutes of our thing?
All right, cool. Let's do it. Ready? Can you hear it?
I don't think it's... I'm going to play off you.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
And...
It's Cody's Quotes.
It's Cody's Quotes.
It's on a note.
It's on a note.
Hey, can't hear a damn thing.
It's all right. It's close.
All right, ready? Mm-hmm. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you will always be criticized anyway.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You keep thinking that I'm going to read keep thinking that I'm going to be a novel or something.
Yeah. Because
I'll say it one more time now. It's fresh in
all the Cody's quotes used to be longer.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep them short now for you.
Ones. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Do what you feel right in your. Do what you feel in your heart. Yeah. Do what you feel in your heart to be right. For you'll be criticized anyways. That was by Eleanor Roosevelt, or Roosevelt, however you say it.
Do what you feel in your heart is
to be right. For you'll be criticized anyway.
So basically, in layman's terms, because you're going to be criticized regardless.
Yeah.
That again, that goes right back to the topic. Why give a fuck?
Yeah.
You see how it kind of like.
Yeah. Yeah. You tried to.
So I tried to like bleep my own self.
Yeah.
What other people think about you? My mother used to tell me this. She used to say, if they don't put food on the table, they don't put clothes on your back, and they don't love you or would take a bullet for you, then they don't really matter.
Yeah.
And she's right.
Yeah. She's a smart woman.
My mother's a very smart woman. And she was absolutely right. I didn't have my dad to tell me something like that.
Yeah.
And realistically, forgive me if you guys hear me chewing on this cough drop. But realistically, do whatever you want to do, regardless of what anyone thinks. But you have to be smart about your decisions. The saying goes, learn from other people's mistakes because you don't live long enough to make them all yourself. And if someone's giving you advice, if it's from an older adult or someone who has tried with you what you have done, take it into consideration. But still, at the end of the day, you have to make the decision. It's your choice, no one else's. It's your life, no one else's. You get one shot at life. One.
Yeah.
You get one shot to do whatever it is the fuck you want to do. No one can take that from you unless you die. Then you lost that one shot. Yeah. So do whatever it is you want to do. Be smart. Don't do shit that's going to be detrimental to yourself or your future or your health. And pick your pain. You know what that means?
No, let me hear it.
Pick your pain. No matter what decision you make in life, there's always going to be pain involved in it. You just have to pick your pain. And I'll give you an example. If you don't work out, you don't go to the gym, you don't take care of yourself, you're going to deal with some health issues. You're going to deal with pain, right? You're going to deal with injuries. You're going to deal with the inability to do certain things, other health reasons, right? But now let's say you do go to the gym. You go to gym, you work out every day. What pain are you going to deal with? The pain of having to wake up super early to get it done. The pain of revolving your day around trying to get that done.
The pain of actually your muscles feeling sore.
The pain of your muscles feeling sore. Sometimes your joints get a little too overworked. But you'll be healthier.
Yeah.
Right? But there's still pain involved.
Another one would be, you want to achieve something in life. You have a mission. There's going to be pain going through that. Or you have the pain of regret and not actually chasing it.
Yeah. There was a saying that said, if you think standing still is easier, wait till you get the bill of regret. Because that is even more difficult to pay.
Yeah.
And I try not to live my life without regrets. We've went through this before. And that's how I'm going to continue to live my life. This big move, this big situation that I'm doing right now, what is my pain? My pain is getting rid of every single thing that I have literally owned and or worked hard for in the past 20 years to completely start all over again. The stress, the anxiety, the worry, the what ifs, the overthinking, the nervousness.
Yeah.
That is my pain. But when I finally get it done, I'm scared of what else pain is going to come once I'm there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out when we get to that bridge. I don't want to think negative, and I don't want to, hopefully there won't be pain, but there really is always some type of pain. You're going to deal with some type of struggle because nothing is perfect. That's just how it is. So no matter what people tell you, just do whatever it is the fuck you want to do, as long as it's better for you.
And like you said before, you know, you have fear for this thing that you're working on doing, but when there is fear, that means there's growth. That means that you're challenging yourself. So know that it's, you know, it might be a little scary right now, but it's a great decision.
It's the biggest fear of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah. All right. I would say we're going to end last minute or last second thoughts on stop worrying about what other people think. I think my main message would be that stop giving a fuck of what other people think of you. Live your life for yourself and no one other. Along with your life isn't yours until you truly stop caring what other people think.
Right. Yep. And stop talking shit about other people. How about that? Stop being the person that is giving that negative energy. Stop talking shit about people behind their backs, man. That's one of the things that bothers me about work. A lot of people talk shit about me, especially behind my back. You won't say it in my fucking face, but trust me, if you're watching this, bitch, I know exactly who you are. Anyway, sorry. Let me not. Anyways, let's bring this back down. Thanks for tuning in. Stay positive. Stay humble. We only have good days. This is Mike time.
Yes, sir. Peace out.
Peace.